Good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday morning. We are up in Amish country. We are up in Goshen, Indiana. Yeah, me and Tracy came up here last night and had dinner with some friends up here. She's got an appointment at 10. And I just went walking today down here a little ways from the hospital, about a block. There's a nature area, a lake over there, a dam, and a trail. And yeah, so I'm walking out here this morning. I already went for my exercise walk and now I'm just strolling. We first walked in, came into the care house last night. We got a whiff of the aroma of the care house, and it was like both of us went, oh, you smell that? It just brought back nostalgic memories being there, and not bad ones. You know, I come down and walk this trail. I've walked these trails dozens and dozens of times. When Tracy was in the hospital, and it reminds me of the times we were up here. And yes, they were bad times, they were hard times, but that's not what I think about when I come up here. That's not what I think about. I think about the time that God put us through, a period in our life where I know God had his hand on us and he has brought us through this. You know, I made many friends at that care house. 2, 3, 4 of them, you know, I got fairly close to, and they passed away. You know, they have this care house here because for a lot of people, this was their last ditch effort to fight this disease, to fight cancer. And so they were on, you know, their last, trying to just try anything. I remember the first time we were there was a guy here. He didn't have much longer, he knew it. And so he just agreed to be in a clinical trial. And he said, you know, if they can find something to advance the medicine to help me, or not to help this disease, then I'll feel like I've done what I could. And he didn't last, but, you know, 2 weeks, maybe a month. And there's been several like that I got close to, talked to, and then would come back and found out that they'd lost their battle. And so when I come up here and I come and walk these trails, and they're so beautiful. I think this is like a park because they have things labeled, and they've got you know, different pea gravel, rock trails, flume sand. And so yeah, I just come walking up here, or sometimes I bring a bike, or I'd borrow a bike from somebody and go riding. But yeah, it reminds me of how far God has brought us. And we came in last night, and there was an older gentleman. He was sitting in the living room. He was watching the White Sox and Yankees play. And we said hi and whatever, and I was going to go out and talk to him, but of course Tracy I'd already went out and started talking to him, and so we had to go. We ran to go upstairs to see some of Tracy's nurses on 2 North in the oncology unit, talk to them. She really wanted to go because Landon was working. He's a young man, about 24, 23, and when Tracy was in the hospital, he would come in every night before she would go to sleep, and he would get down on his knees and he would pray for her. And when he left in the mornings, he would do the same thing. And just an amazing example of just the people God put in our life up here. So yeah, she talked to this guy for a minute, and I didn't get to talk to him that much. I just asked him, I said, you know, White Sox fan or a Yankees fan? And he said, well, I'm originally from New York, but I don't like the White Sox, so I like it when the White Sox lose. And talking to Tracy. She said, yeah, when I talked to him, he seemed a little bit bitter. You know, he said he's got to come up here and just stay here during the week, and he looks forward when he can go home on the weekend. So his wife must be up in the hospital, and just tell he did not like being there. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about this morning, is when we go through hard times in life, we go through crap, that stuff is not, it's not our own fault. It's just life that happens, and just life that happens to us, and we have to just go through it, and life's going to drag you through it whether you want to go through it or not. And there's two ways you can go through it. You can go through it like this gentleman seems to be. I don't know, I don't want to judge people or talk ill about people, but just use him as an example. This is neat too. This is neat. There's a little boardwalk out here over this swamp area, and pretty neat. I wouldn't want to fall out. Shelby keeps telling me the alligators are migrating more and more north, and there's been alligator sightings in southern Indiana. So I wouldn't want to fall in there. I'm sure there's some cottonmouths in there. Anyway, yeah, so there's two ways to go through when you go through life. You can look at all the bad crap that happens, all the bad things, all the ugly things around you, or you can try to find and pick out the good things and dwell on the good things and not dwell on the bad things. And if you do it that way, it will make, oh, dang, my knees hurt. It'll make it much easier to go through the hard times. You just try to see the blue sky in everything. And it's hard. It's a chore to do sometimes, I know. I used to, run into these people that just seem like they're happy all the time. All the time, to where it's almost freaking annoying to be like, how can you be this happy all the time? And I kind of see that now, is that if you dwell on the bad things, it's going to take your mind that way, and then you're going to have a crappy day, you're going to have a crappy week, and your whole experience up there is just going to be horrible. And when you do have to come back, it's going to remind you of how horrible it is. But if you can try to find out the good things, if you can try to talk to other people who's going through a bad experience maybe up there, especially at that care house, because I know everybody in there is fighting cancer. And if you could just try to help them, if you can try to help them get through what they're going through, share your experiences. Somebody commented on my video. I posted my relationships video on Facebook the other day, because I getting ready to launch this website, and I haven't yet, and I thought I'll post this to my Facebook friends and see kind of what the response is. And one of the responses was something like, it's good to hear other people's comments, to hear other people going through stuff like this, just to know that you're somewhat normal. And that's so true. When you can find out, when you can talk to somebody who's gone through what you're gone through, who's thinking what you're thinking, it helps you realize, I'm not such a weirdo. I'm not such a, I don't know, words are escaping me right now. But when you can see other people, it kind of helps. I know it helps. When you can see somebody has it worse than you, it makes you appreciate your situation a lot better. That's truth. Regardless if you like it or not, that's truth. And so this week, today, as you go through your week, go through the day, try to find the good in things. Try to talk to people and find out their situation. Just love on people. I learned that I learned that a lot when I was up here, and Time to Revive was up here for the 52 days, and they were just training people to go out and share the gospel, but their methodology, which was all biblical, is to love people. You got to first just love people where they're at, right there, regardless of their situation, regardless of their class. Love them, listen to them. Don't sit and try to throw up on them all this good stuff, all the gospel. Just listen to them. And then, from what you hear, discern that. Be able to discern, okay, what do you want me to say to them? What should I say to them? And then respond. So you love, listen, discern, and respond. And that's true, not just sharing the gospel, but that's true in life in general. If you follow those 4 principles, your life will be so much better because you're helping other people. So as you go through the rest of this week, we're Thursday, so tomorrow's Friday. As you go through today and go through this week, just follow those 4 principles. Help somebody else. Help them. See if you can help them get through. Give some money to somebody sitting on the side of the road and talk to them. Listen to them for a minute. Take time out of your busy life. Slow down a little bit. We all just gotta get through this together, get through this life together. Everybody's terminal, everybody's days are numbered. Whether you have a disease or not, you could go out and get hit by a car today. So live every day as if it's your last, because one day it will be, right? And just keep on keeping on.